Welcome to a Global Village TV show again, and thank you very much joining us today. We are airing from JBA Center, and we are very thankful to the city of Brooks and Newell County providing the venue. We have a Constable Travis Norton today, school resource officer. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about Travis Norton.
I'm a younger fella that grew up in Alberta here. I am very much so into sports and any kind of active outdoor hiking, swimming, boating, those types of activities. Mm-hmm. I came here with my wife, and we now have 3 young children that are out and about in the community in sports and dance and everything else.
There you go. And from this region, from County of Newell and Brooks.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to grow up in Rosemary, which is a small village about 20 to 25 minutes northwest of Brooks here. Yeah. But I did a lot of my sports and activities as a youth inside of Brooks and the County of Newell at large.
Yeah, I have been to Rosemary. It's a beautiful area. So you are a school officer now?
That's correct, yeah. So I'm the school resource officer for Grassland Schools in this division.
How long then? How long have you been there?
So I just started in the position the beginning of November, end of October. Mm-hmm. But in my previous detachment, I was one of my responsibilities was a community resource officer, mm-hmm. which involved going in and out through the schools as well as community events, rural crime watch committees, and things of that sense. So
how long have you been with RCMP then?
So I just surpassed 7 years in the RCMP. So I did 4 years at my previous posting, mm-hmm. and I just completed 3 years here this May.
Wow. So previous meaning within the province or outside the province?
Yeah. My first posting was in a small town called Killam, which is actually 2.5-3 hours north of Brooks.
I always see that sign on my way to Edmonton.
Yeah, it's a town you pass by, you read the name, you stop at the intersection there of Highway 13, and then you'd continue north or maybe even west to Camrose there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you've been there for almost 4 years.
Yeah. So I started in Killam in 2016. So that was when I had finished my training at Depot, which is the RCMP Training Academy. Yeah. I started there 2016 in the summer, and I did 4 years there, and then I came to Brooks.
And you've been in Brooks for 3 years?
3 years, that's correct, yep.
Wow, so how you like Brooks then?
I love it. I enjoy being in a community where there's lots going on. There's lots of community events happening. There's a couple of really nice lakes nearby, and there's a lot of amazing people to work with, mm-hmm. as well as interact with throughout the community.
No, that's fantastic, I think, and you are not far away from home.
No, from my family, my siblings, I'm the only kid that moved further than 30 minutes from where we grew up. But I've since circled back for now, and we'll see where the wind blows me after that.
Yeah, as a school resource officer, especially for grasslands, how do you see the diversity at school? And
well, I whether you're in the community at an event or whether you're shopping for groceries or you're in the school, you see a vast amount of cultures, mm-hmm. which is very, very amazing to see. Yeah. It's awesome to have people from different backgrounds, different countries, different cultures, mm-hmm. that we can all very clearly get along with. And it's very cute. My little boy, his best friend is a girl that is not from Canada. Wow. And the things that he will learn and the things that he will hear from them and they'll hear from him are just fantastic. It's something that I don't think you can have in many different communities in Alberta.
They learn each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they learn each other from their different cultures. That is fantastic, because I think that's how having a diversity means, and we encourage also the newcomers to learn the culture of the local. Mm-hmm. So just exchange of culture. So you will get to know your culture, you get to know my culture.
Absolutely. And that's how we show respect with each other.
Yeah, it's not only one-way street. People have to learn also the culture of the host community, because that's how you will learn also the culture from the other perspective. You engage people, you learn their culture, their tradition, and they learn yours. And that's exchange of cultures. So what's the one thing you love about your career then?
One thing I love about my career, I love the fact, and specifically in Brooks, it's been really nice to have the curiosity come out, and that I get to see people in all different lights. I get to see people in their most vulnerable, possibly shameful, possibly worst days. And I can be somebody that can come in and change that for them.
Yeah.
I can be a positive force in their life.
Yeah.
And I'm able to educate people. And I love to educate people. I love to explain to them the ways our laws work and the way that our courts work, and that they're there to protect you as well as hold you accountable. And I'm an officer that believes in education first.
Yeah.
And once somebody is educated on this is wrong, we can't do this, that then they grow, they learn something new, and they get to take that on and share that with their friends, their family members, or their children.
That's well said. That's fantastic. I think you need to educate them, but at the same time, they have to be accountable for whatever mistakes they have done.
Absolutely. Like education first is something that I like to live by, and being a school resource officer, that's a lot of what we deal with. We educate students on why they can't do these things and why it's wrong and the trouble they can get into and the consequences they'll face. And after that point forward, it's now their choice as to whether they live by those rules or they see us on a bad day, potentially.
That is well said. What will be the process of someone wants to be RCMP?
If somebody wants to become an RCMP officer, there's levels to start with for the application process of it. So when it comes to the application process, it changes quite often.
Yeah.
When I went through, I can speak to my experience. Yeah. I started with a career presentation. So somebody came and talked about what it was to become an RCMP officer. After that, I wrote a exam, which is a pass-fail. Yeah. I passed the exam. I moved on to a disclosure package, we call it, where it goes through all the places you've lived, your family members and their names, your closest friends, the places you've worked, all these different things. And they ask very personal questions to figure out what kind of a character you are. After you pass through that, you do a physical test. So I went and did a obstacle course test where they test your physical abilities for running and jumping and climbing, push, pull, strengths. After that, well, it's been a while, Ahmed, it's been a while. Yeah. What happened after that, I believe, was an interview similar to this, which took about 3 hours. Yeah. You go over lots of different examples, lots of stories, lots of life lessons that you've learned. You do a polygraph, or a lie detector test, some people would know it as, to go through your history and make sure you haven't been involved in any criminality or any negative behaviors. Yeah. And after that, it's you're doing a physical test to make sure that your body's fit, you're healthy. And then you go to depot for 6 months, which is in Regina, Saskatchewan. Yeah. All sorts of pass-fail scenarios in that. And once you pass that, you're sworn as a police officer in the country of Canada, and they post you out to various communities throughout Canada.
So you were lucky you were posted back to the same...
I was lucky, yeah. I was very lucky to be posted even back in the same province that I grew up in and was comfortable with and familiar with. But good friends of mine that were in training went to northern Manitoba or lower mainland, BC. Some went to Nova Scotia. We had a very big variety of where people went. So you have to be happy to be anywhere that you're needed in the RCMP. That's an important thing, and I love that. I get to move around to different places and meet different people.
No, that's fantastic. That's the beauty of moving from one province to other province or the territories. I think it's fantastic. Being at the school also has its own challenge. So what do you think the challenges you see and the opportunities?
Yeah, so the challenges that we see here in Brooks are the same challenges that you would see all across the country, really, and into international countries as well. And it comes down to our phones and our access to social media.
Yeah.
So our youth are highly subjected to social media websites such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and those are just, the top ones that we're all familiar with. And they run the challenge of meeting people and building these relationships with somebody that they've never seen face to face. And that can be quite scary for parents. It can be quite scary for teachers and quite scary for us as police officers to see the trouble that they get into. And it's trouble that they may not have faced if it was an in-person conversation or relationship rather than somebody they've never met or spoken to in person. So we see a lot of those issues where youth are being very rude to each other, bullying each other online. If you post a picture, you can get a lot of negative comments from people you've never met. Yeah. And what that does is it really takes a toll on their self-worth and their own levels of respect for themselves. And they get caught up in bad habits. And it can be really distressing for somebody, for a youth growing up where the world is at your fingertips. Yeah. The good, the bad, the ugly. And they have that instantly. From the minute they wake up to the minute they fall asleep, they have access to this wealth of knowledge, but also a really scary place sometimes online.
I think you well said. It's a very scary for the social media, especially for the youth. Not to mention also can be radicalized.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be the easy way to be radicalized. They can be easily fall into a human trafficking or all the sorts of problems.
Yeah. There's no end to the issues that you can find when you're online and talking to people you've never met or clicking on links and groups you never meant to. Yeah.
So in your own opinion then, is there a way that probably be able to indicate the danger of the social media to the youth?
Is there a way that we can indicate that danger?
Yeah, educate them.
Yeah, so for myself as a school resource officer and other officers, it's their responsibility and their want to do this as well. And it's to go back to that piece of education, doing presentations in schools, speaking with them often about the dangers with it, to not only speaking with the youth, but also educating parents. I'm certain that when I grow older, that I'm not going to be in tune with the new technology, the new applications that are available to our youth. Yeah. And it's the same thing right now, present day. Parents are not aware of the dangerous apps that are out there. Parents are not aware that their kids are speaking to strangers. Parents are not aware that their kids are becoming victims online. Education is that piece, and it's being proactive rather than reactive is where we need to be, and that's how we can educate our youth and our parents about the dangers. Not to be scared of technology, but to be aware of what's out there.
No, that's well said, Travis. There's also another angle when it comes to the parents from the newcomer side, which is the kid will be playing with their phone. If the parents try to take away that gadget, they will hit the roof and they will call the police. Yep. Now the problem comes when the police comes is the parent doesn't speak the language, so the kid will translate. the parents will be afraid that they lose the kid. So it's also that challenge that, and we touch base with also Sharon when she was the school resource officer. So might be a suggestion to have that also way to educate the parents that nobody will take your children away, and you have your own rules at home. The kids have to follow because every house has a rules. But sometimes you see parents that the kid won't follow that rule because they become the parents become the child. Because if they call the police, they know the kid will be the one who's going to be talking, and they don't know what to say. So they will feel, okay, you play, keep your gadget 24/7, don't talk to me. So that's another creation of a problem.
Yeah. What's important for that, and that is these are circumstances that we're seeing within our community. And what I would say to any parent that is sitting in that situation, we as police officers encourage parents to parent. That device is not owned by your child. You've provided that device to them. Now, if they act out or are staying up too late or getting into trouble on social media, please, we encourage them to take these phones away. Take them away. If your child calls police, we will use translators to get down to the bottom of this, and their kids will not hold the final word over them. We want all parents to feel that they will be supported in their decisions when we show up at the front door. And taking away a person's device is nothing that will have them in trouble. There's nothing further police will do. We will show up, we'll talk to everybody, and we will remind the parents that this is your device, you pay for it. We would much rather parents take items away than be giving any kind of physical punishments to their kids. We encourage them to take devices like cell phones, tablets, computers away. Where we want the parents and where we can help with this is we have these meetings with parents at schools. There's a meeting coming up in the next 2 weeks at the junior high in town where we're meeting with parents specific to newcomer parents to educate them on what they're able to do and to not be scared of us and to trust in us. And we understand that can be a difficult relationship to form, but we are here for it. We are in these meetings, we are educating parents, and we're available for questions. And we want to build that trust from police to citizens that we are not going to come and tell them to give their devices back to their kids. We're not going to fight with them or yell at them or scream at them. We're here for good reasons, and we want to support them.
No, that's fantastic, Travis. And I think in order to achieve that from the school point, I think might be a good idea to approach from the police side, from the wellness team, from Michelle's side. The junior high school, you have Jared, the principal. But in order to see the students' success, I think that should be a collective way to talk to the parents, because we do know sometimes they do have their own issues, they have some misunderstandings, sometimes they have a perception that's not necessary to be the truth. But education is the most important, most effective way. How to bring also the family members to the school is another challenge. The value of the education, because they have to be involved, the education of the kid. They have to be involved in the school. They have to attend the school's, parent council, parent interviews, and all that. So that's also a part of that success of the student.
Absolutely. Schools and community organizations and us as police, we can have all of the presentations that we want, but if we don't have the right people coming and present, there's a barrier to reach out to them if we can't all sit at a table such as this or sit in a gymnasium to discuss these topics.
Yeah, so because they do have also a Swiss program of the school from SPEC organization.
Yeah.
Which also, so approaching that from the organization is support from the school, from the police. I think that will help the parents because you need to have the presentation of the parents to educate them. You can be available, but if they don't show up, then there is no point of, So that's another challenge that we need also.
Absolutely.
So this is part of that discussion that we hope that parents who are watching the program will see the benefit of them involving the school.
Absolutely. The meeting that's coming up at the junior high, both myself and Constable Sharon Peters will be there in attendance, and we would love to answer any questions alongside the presentation that we'll be coming with.
No, definitely we will encourage all the parents to be there. I think it's very important for them to be involved in their success of the students, whether they are newcomer students or local families. They need to attend the schools. Yeah. They need to be part of that.
Yeah, and they need to see us in uniform and there for the right reasons. Oftentimes we deal with people on their worst days. Yeah. We want to deal with people and communicate with them when they're not in crisis and when they're not in trouble, to give a better light of what this uniform means to them.
Wow. And that is how you build trust between the community and the police.
That's right.
I think building that trust, I think you have said the right word. I think you will, my personal opinion, will be a very invaluable person for the detachment here. Because we do have a high number of newcomers that newcomers always tend to have a mistrust with the police. Building that trust is extremely important, and what you say, it goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you do have that building the trust is not one day, it's not 1 month, it takes time.
Yeah, it's not a light switch. You can't turn it on, you can't turn it off. It's gradual, and that's why we do our best to be as proactive in the communities and in different events so parents can see us in different situations. My son plays hockey and I help coach his team. Oh. And it's not unusual for me to show up in uniform to help coach the team and help sort that out. Wow. And these are different ways that you will see somebody in uniform within this community.
So have you went to JBS with Sharon for the orientation kind of something?
I haven't been able to do those quite yet with just how new I am into the position, but I am well aware of what those presentations are, and it's just a matter of time for me to be able to go along with Sharon and be involved in those.
Yeah, I think because most of the parents that you see at school, their parents work at JBS.
That's correct.
And JBS is a great company. So I think having you and Sharon to be at the orientation goes very long, because then they will listen from you. And it's always, as you just mentioned, you will see them, or you will meet down the street when you're giving them a ticket, or maybe somebody called for a problem to the house. Yep. So for them to see you, the light side as a human, goes a long way. That's how you build the trust.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we try to do, and I think that there's always more that can be done, but I think we attend lots of different events and organizations to do our best and talk with the people that do come. And there's always more that we can do, but we're committed to doing those because we know the great community that we have here.
No, that's well said. Community engagement is extremely important. So no, I think you definitely going to be an invaluable member of the detachment with the spirit that I can see. And I think it's, you are community minded. So we need very much people like you to be part of the process of building that trust between the police and the community in general, regardless if someone is newcomer or local. I think having a public safety is everybody's business.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you see something, say something. So that comes along with that trust. If I trust you, then I will give you a call.
Mm-hmm. I can personally, testify to the fact that all of my coworkers that wear this uniform, that work alongside me in the Brooks Detachment, are very like-minded, and they're very happy to help people. That's why we're here. That's why we signed up for this career.
No, I can be a living testimony. I know most of your colleagues from Staff Sergeant Gordon, all the way David and all. So I think you have a Joe, you have a Sharon, you have a great Josh, who's been here a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think you have a very good, we have a very good detachment police here, and we are very honored and very lucky to have a very good community-minded team.
Thank you.
Yeah, from Brooks, Bassano area, and we hope to see you more often and building that community engagement. If there is anything we can do from our end, such as building this relationship through the TV shows and broadcasts, is part of our commitment to Global Village to make sure that building that trust is a part of that the common good of the community.
And we appreciate everyone's involvement in building that trust with us.
Well, I think you have a meeting also at the school.
I do have some prior commitments.
Yeah, so we will hope to invite you again next time. And in the meantime, thank you very much for taking your time. Yesterday you went to Calgary. It would have been nice to have you and Sharon yesterday, but there's always next time.
Yep.
But thank you very much for taking the time to come today. And we'll invite you next time. And we hope you all the success, especially holidays are coming. So you're doing a great job. And not only you, the whole team of the detachment. Our hats are off for the team for the public safety.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming here. This is the end of the program of the show today. We were very honored and humbled to have Travis Norton in our program today. Until then, stay safe. This is Ahmed Kasim, your host of the program. Take care. God bless you. Thanks again.